Yes, sir.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us for Netcapital's live Q&A session with Dome Audio. We have one of the co-founders, Tim, with us today. Tim, thanks for joining.
Hey, thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening to this opportunity. I'm excited to share with you.
Awesome. So thanks everyone who's attending, and of course anyone who's watching this in a recorded version. For those watching live, if you want to ask a question, there's a live Q&A function at the bottom of the Zoom screen. Feel free to write in a question, and I'll ask it to Tim along the way here on our journey. Also, if anyone's watching this recording and they've got further questions for the Dome team, there'll be a link in the description to Dome Audio's offering page on Netcapital. Dome's currently live and raising capital on netcapital.com. Anyone can invest. And if you have additional questions for Tim or any of the other members of the Dome team, just post a question on their discussion board. And so with that, Tim, again, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to dive into the company, but just to make sure everyone's kind of on the same page, can you give us just a brief overview of what Dome Audio is and what you guys do?
Absolutely. And first, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Tim Wright, and I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of Dome Audio. Just a little bit of background about myself. I'm a graduate from Rutgers University, and I had a 6-year playing career in the NFL, and most notably winning a Super Bowl championship with the New England Patriots. And now I'm on an inspiring entrepreneurial journey with my partner, Ben White, who is the founder, CEO, and CTO of Dome Audio. Growing up, I had 2 passions. One was football, and obviously I achieved the highest pinnacle with that in winning a Super Bowl championship. And my other was business and being an entrepreneur. So I'm on that journey and path with my team in Dome Audio to make Dome a Super Bowl winning champion in terms of business and what we have the opportunity to do. So just a quick background, what I would like to do is start off with a video that gives an overview of Dome Audio and what we're presenting. So allow me to share my screen.
Thanks, Tim.
Yes. Can you see that good, Rob? My name is Tim Wright.
Tim Wright for the touchdown.
Have you ever experienced open ear listening?
Really feel the music.
Have you ever wanted more options when it comes to fashion and headphones? Well, now you do. Welcome to the future of sound. The D4 has a 4-point speaker system providing surround sound fidelity, Bluetooth connectivity, dual mics for taking phone calls, a port for audio jack plug-in, and a USB port for charging on the go.
The bass hitting right in the crane.
That's crazy.
This is dope.
Our unique dome coverage provide branding, fashion interchangeability, and closed ear noise isolation.
Who's the mastermind behind this?
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
And I think we might have missed a little bit of the last bit of audio, but I think I got almost all of it. So I think it's good.
Perfect. So just a quick overview and background of Dome Audio. So I have the product right in hand, and I would like to show you guys. Everything you see is a prototype that was made in-house by our team. And you'll see some conceptual things as well that's not in the market yet, but it's on the horizon for us to do with our headphones. So here you will see Dome Audio, which is our packaging, and this is a branding keepsake. This is a charging case where you will be allowed to leave it on your dresser, leave it on your workplace, on your desk, and when you open up the charging case, this is where our headphones lie. So you will be able to put our headphones, the Dome headphones, in the case, and you will be indicated with the charging light, the Dome logo, and you will also be able to, I'll show you in a second, but our Dome covers, you'll be able to store it on the side here for whatever covers you're wearing for that day. And this is designed, again, as a branding keepsake. So just to give you a quick overview of our headphone, I know I briefly covered it in a video, but this is the world's first surround sound bone conduction headphone. and Dome Audio is the patent holders of this design and this product. So this headphone has a 4-point speaker system. The sound comes directly from the head bar, and when you rest it on your head, the speakers, the transducers rest right on your bones. So this allows you to hear your music and take your phone calls while being able to hear the world around you. But then there's times when you want to go in isolation mode and you want to block out the noise around you. This design allows you to then place a cover on the headphone frame, just like this. And now it blocks out the outside world and isolates the sound and amplifies the music that you're listening to. Now, this is a bone conduction design headphone. The leading bone conduction brand on the market is Aftershokz. This is their design. And as a matter of fact, if you look up bone conduction on Google, you will find that every brand and design on the marketplace essentially looks like this. So this is a 2-point speaker system. So it's half the speakers of what Dome Audio headphones have. And when you put these on, yes, your ears are exposed, you can hear the music around you. However, you will always be, hearing the ambient sound around you, so you don't have the ability to block off the outside noise. So that's one aspect of a differentiator from Dome headphones versus the other brands on the market. And then last but not least, this is the essential design. This is a disruptive design that was developed by my partner, Ben Wright. But then we have headphone real estate, and we're the only headphone company in the headphone space that can do this. But with our dome covers, it allows us to collaborate with brands and celebrities from around the world. So when you think about this from a branding standpoint, this is mobile billboards. And it allows brands to put their logos right on the surface of our dome covers. And what we have is the ability to tap into those already established audiences and consumers for each brands that are emotionally connected to those brands and consuming their products. So by putting them on our platform with our headphones, now we're able to expand our exposure and our notoriety around the world with these various brands. So essentially, this is the product that we have with Dome headphones. This is our premier flagship product, and this is what we'll be rolling to the market with pre-orders for the rest of 2020 and then fulfillment in Q1 of 2021.
That's awesome, Tim. Thanks for giving us that overview.
Yeah.
You're really hammering it home with that ring there. It's pretty
Of course.
cool.
Thank you.
We're a Boston-based company. We love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before I really want to dive into the product, but before we get there, you gave us a great intro on your background. Can you talk to me a little bit about the other members of the team, who they are, what their backgrounds are, and why you think you guys are going to be kind of unique and successful?
Of course. So starting off with the founder, CEO, and CTO of Dome Audio, Ben Wright. He developed this product literally from a thought in his mind to a sketch to a full prototype product. And now we're at the table with VTech, which is our manufacturing partner, to make this a reality and deliver it to the world. But a brief background on Ben. He was in the music industry for over 2 decades, and he was a musician, sound writer, producer, executive in the music industry. And he then transitioned about 10 years ago into product development. And when he created the headphone and conceived the idea of the headphone, his music background kicked in. And that's when he picked up the leading headphone on the market with Aftershokz and heard what transducers produce and bone conduction technology is. And with his music background, obviously he knows sound, and he just felt that it was a better way to bring bone conduction to the market. And so that's when he created the 4-point speaker system, which provides the surround sound. So that's a brief background on Ben Wright. And then our CFO, Chris Chambers. He has his MBA from the Wharton School. He's brought numerous companies from a CFO position to be successful 8-figure businesses and year-over-year growth. We have an award-winning packaging designer in Eric Helmsmetter. He's been doing it for over 2 decades. And as you can see, we have some other packaging here of our product, which is all prototype made in-house as well. This is, it's all about the product. It's all about the packaging. And this is what he's been able to create and bring this to life. We have a celebrity photographer in Cliff Prescott, who shoots on Wildin' Out and all these various artists and celebrities from around all different industries. We also have, who else? Michael Wakatama, who is a corporate sales expert, and he's helping us engage with different brands. And last but not least, most importantly, our director of manufacturing, David Avaldi. He's been in the industry for manufacturing, fulfillment, and supply chain for over 30 years. And he's helped us secure our relationship with VTech. So we're in great hands with that and bringing a high quality product to the market. So that's a brief background of our team. We're lean and we all bring a lot of expertise and a lot of experience from our backgrounds, and all coming together under one core mission and impacting the way the world experiences sound. So that's basically our background.
Thanks, Tim.
Yes.
So kind of moving back into the product again, you talked about Ben creating this kind of just from an idea in his head. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the core problems that Dome Audio is trying to solve before we dive into the product itself? Like, what are the issues that you guys identified in the world?
Correct. So just bringing it back to the essence of the technology. So you have air conduction headphones, which is essentially all headphones on the market that we know of: the Beats, the Bose, the Apple, Panasonic, Sennheiser, JBL, and then you have bone conduction, which is a relatively new product from a consumer standpoint on the market. And so any air conduction product goes directly in the ear. So this blocks you off and disconnects you from your surroundings. So there's a lot of vehicle accidents and people being struck by moving vehicles because when they're on the streets traveling, they don't have any awareness of their environment. That's called situational awareness. Then you have where young kids who have Beats and Bose and these loud headphones are cranking the music up very loud, and it's damaging their ears. So those two core essential problems, being struck by vehicles and also being damaging your ears. You also see with these headphones, people are spending $200, $300, $400 on a design that never changes once you purchase the headphones. So aesthetically, there's a fashion limitation with that. And finally, last but not least, being open and connected is one of the things that brands from all across the world are now preaching with this current pandemic that we're experiencing, and people working remotely. They want to stay connected. So the solutions are opening your ears, allowing your ears to be open, staying connected, so not harming your ears and causing ear damage. The other one is being able to interchange with our various dome covers that we have in our brands, so you can change the fashion on the go. The other is when you're traveling and you're commuting, now you're aware of your surroundings. So not only vehicles, but people being robbed or burglarized or being harassed, now you have that control and confidence of your environment around you. So essentially, those are the four core solutions that Dome brings to the table.
Awesome. And so, yeah, let's dig into the headphones themselves. Kind of talk to me about the product itself, right? You talked about the surround sound stuff, but can you just walk us through it in a little more detail?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, this is the D4 Premier design. And again, when you put it on your head, the basic technology of bone conduction is these speakers, which are transducers, which you can somewhat see here. These speakers allow your ears to be open, and the transducers send the vibration, which is the sound waves, through the bone into the inner ear. Whereas conventional headphones, they sit in the ear canal, and that passes through your eardrum and then into the inner ear. So it's another way of hearing. So one of the, I would say the four verticals that we're able to attack and able to penetrate with our headphone technology, number one is the consumer market. So by 2025, the headphone industry will be at a $36 billion industry. And then the next vertical is the medical market. So bone conduction is a way in which the hearing impaired community actually hear. So when you see the devices that rest on the bones of their head, those are actually bone conduction devices. Now, those devices can cost upwards of $5 to $7 grand. With our headphones, these will retail at $250. So there are 466 million people in the world that suffer from hearing impairment. They don't have a headphone on the market that they can listen to from a conventional standpoint, from educational settings, because all over-ear headphones disconnects you from that environment. So it's really not a benefit of wearing headphones when you're in those type of settings other than being isolated. So now we're opening up the ability, number one, to impact that entire community of 466 million people, but also giving them a means to enjoy headphones just like everybody else in the world. The other aspect that Dome headphones can tap into is the autistic community. So the same type of scenario with conventional headphones, they're blocked off from everything around them. So with different frequencies and tones, you can allow them to have balance in their life while being able to stay connected in educational environments, or whether they're, in their leisure and off time and spare time, they're able to have control of everything around them. And Dome headphones give them the ability to do that. The third vertical is military. So you have drone pilots, you have different training, techniques that these, soldiers or guys or women go through. And now, while they're out in battle, and actually this is how bone conduction technology was created. So instead of having something in your ear, which disconnects you from the field and everything around you, now you have where they had the bone conduction headphones, so they was aware of the surroundings, and they were aware of being able to hear the different cues that was being communicated through the headphones. And so now with drone pilots and all the technical advancements we have, our Dome headphones will be able to be a great resource for them. And last but not least, the last vertical we have is the gaming vertical. So the gaming industry by 2024 will be at a $300 billion industry. And currently there are 2.5 billion gamers in the world. So you can only imagine the popular games like Fortnite, or these different games, these different esport teams that have their own teams and logos. Now literally we can collaborate with those brands and put those simple logos right on our covers, and they can consume that. But while playing a game, now anybody who's a parent that's listening in today and you're trying to get the attention of your child, or whoever is playing the video games, now they can hear you while still being locked in, and you can feel the music through our headphones and the sound that vibration gives you. So it feels like you're in the game. So those are the four verticals that we're focusing on. This is the technology, and this is what we have. It will have dual speakers for you to take your phone calls and communicate right in the front. You'll also have an optional audio jack plug-in, and you'll also be able to charge your headphone on the go and wherever you carry your headphones. So essentially that's the technology, and that's the four verticals that we have.
That's great. And I'm sure for the audiophiles listening, can you talk to us about how does bone conduction match up with, whether it's over ear or in ear buds? Talk to me about the actual sound quality.
No, thank you. Great question, Rob. So Dome headphones is in a pretty unique position because we fall in the category of both bone conduction and the conventional air conduction and quality sound. So when you're wearing the headphones without the covers on, again, that's the bone conduction technology. It keeps you connected to the world around you. But when you put the covers on, it isolates the sound and amplifies the sound. So now it sounds almost like a conventional headphone because the audio is playing. So you're hearing the audio and feeling the vibration, which gives you the clarity of the voice, the sound, and everything that's being played, music played through your headphones. So Dome doesn't profess to have the best sounding headphone, but we're the most innovative, most versatile, and most fashionable headphone in the headphone space. So that's where we at with our sound.
That's great. And so, talking about the four verticals, that you're targeting, can you talk to me about your go-to-market plan? Do you plan to tackle all of them? Do you plan to tackle one at a time? And
Right.
how do you plan to get into those different markets?
Right. So we've already made some headway and some inroads with each vertical. And it's been great with our technology and with our headphone real estate. So I don't want to be remiss to say this, but this is the headphone real estate of headphones. So literally these covers were the only headphone technology, only headphone in the space that can provide that value. But with our covers, we've been able to start relationships and start conversations with different organizations, brands, and celebrities in all of those verticals. And it's just a matter of time on strategically what's the best rollout at that time. So our focus for 2020 is to sell 20,000 pre-orders, and by Q1 of 2021 fulfill those orders, and then start rolling out our next various campaigns with our collaborators and our partners, and then continue to scale the company from there. So that's our rollout plan with our verticals.
That's great. And have you started taking pre-orders so far?
Yes. So in addition to Netcapital, we're also on Indiegogo, where you can go to Indiegogo right now, look up Dome Audio, and you can pre-order and reserve our headphones for $25. So we're also, with this capital and the support from the backers that's listening today, we'll be able to get our units, start manufacturing with our partner VTech, which we're currently in pre-production right now. We'll be able to get our units in our hands to be able to then distribute those to our prospect collaborators, from brands to celebrities, secure those, and then with their massive followings on and their already engaged consumers, we'll then be able to roll it out to those already built audience to achieve our goal for 2020, and then just scale that for 2021 and moving forward.
That's great. And I want to dig into the manufacturing relationship. Before we get there, while we're still kind of talking about the market here, can you talk to me a little bit about the headphone market overall?
Yes.
How hard is it to go up against competitors like Bose or Beats? How much of the market do they own? Things like that.
Yes. So if you're coming into the headphone space with a headphone that just offers somewhat of a different, competing in sound alone, aesthetically, you don't have anything different from, from the design standpoint and what it allows you to do for everyday life. If you don't come in with anything different, we feel that all headphone companies are just competing for the best sound, and sound is subjective. So with our headphone, we feel like we have an amazing opportunity to be able to go into the headphone space, into the 48% opening of the headphone industry. Obviously, you have, Beats, Bose, Apple, Panasonic, Sennheiser, JBL. Those are pretty much the leaders of that space that consumes pretty much the 52% of the market. But there's a 48% opening within the market that are occupied by no-name brands. So that's our plan of attack. And just to step ahead a little bit, our goal for Dome, within 60 months, we have various products already in the queue. So our rollout for the next 60 months is to have a 0.5% penetration in the market. And that will yield us 1.8 million units sold by year 2024-25. And at that point, with our disruptive technology, with our IP, with our portfolio, all the various patents that we have, the trademarks that we have, and the brand equity that we will have built over the years, our plan is to get acquired at the end of the road in 60 months. So with that being said, the 48% opening, the 0.5% penetration, the 1.8 million units sold, and that will equate to $465 million in revenue. You put a 5x multiple on that, now we're talking a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. So that's the end game of this opportunity, and that's the opportunity that we're sharing, with the potential investors and backers on the call today, to be able to join this ride and bring this and make major impact from a global standpoint.
You are getting ahead of it, man. You're talking about the exit, and we're only halfway through the interview. Come on now, you got to leave me something for the end.
Hey, we could talk all day, Rob. No question.
So you were talking some big numbers. You're talking about a go-to-market strategy. Talk to me a little bit about the kind of the nuts and bolts business model of Dome, right? I know you have the headphones. I know you have the Dome covers. Talk to me about kind of how you guys plan to make money.
Yes. So essentially, again, our headphone, this model is $250. It will come with the matching Dome covers. And essentially, our business model is built on collaborations, scarcity marketing, and e-commerce. So we're a direct-to-consumer business model. We will utilize the platforms of social media, which they didn't have back in the day, even when Beats made their massive impact. Think about it, in 2006, 7, 8, when Beats got off the ground, they didn't have, social media wasn't what it was today. And also collaborations wasn't what it was today. You got Nike and you have Off-White, you have Supreme, and you have Louis Vuitton. So those are examples of two companies coming together to collaborate to make something that's so sought after and in demand by consumers. When you have a scarcity marketing or a limited quantity of that specific look, it creates a thirst and urge for consumers to want to consume it. And then with our ability of having these dome covers and it being interchangeable, we could change the look on the fly and roll out multiple campaigns throughout the year for all of our various collaborators that we partner with. So essentially it's the sale of headphones. And then we have a proprietary app that we're developing, which I'm gonna just give you the surface and I'm gonna just put this as an under promise, over deliver. And we will be able to control your EQ settings. You'll be able to control the vibration of your headphones. You'll also be able to have the ability to go into our own music library, where we'll stream our own music through our app, and there'll be a limitless amount of features that we'll also be able to create revenue streams within the app and within the data. So that goes into the end game once acquisition comes as well. So that's pretty much our business model.
That's great. And you talked about collaborators. Are you working with anyone kind of so far? Do you have any kind of athletes working with you, things like that, besides yourself?
Yes. So it's only right, me being from Rutgers University, and Rutgers University, just bear in mind, is, it's a world-renowned college and university, and they have over 500,000 alumni. They have over 100,000 students that goes to the various campuses throughout New Jersey. And we just about 2 weeks ago secured the license with the Block R of Rutgers University. So me already having a business on campus there, I opened up about 4 years ago, the country's first, and from a university standpoint, the first barbershop hair salon on any major campus in the country. And I've already had over 10,000 students representing all parts of the world come into our establishment and get their hair service. And what I've been able to learn through that experience and being able to cater different promotions, different strategies, and roll that out to impact people from all around the world is an understanding on the consumer market, the behavior, what makes them want to consume product, what makes them want to consume and support your service. So I bring that to Dome Audio, as well as, my locker right next to Tom Brady, him throwing me 6 touchdowns, the entire Patriots and NFL organization getting these endorsement opportunities by these brands. And I would say for everyone listening today, one thing that we know, for example, is signature shoe deals. So we know how large signature shoe deals are. And thinking about it, when you're walking past somebody on the street, you're not always looking down at their feet or their shoes to be able to recognize what brand or what celebrity, shoes they are. But with headphones, it's a walking billboard. So when the eye contact passes someone, you're always looking at what may be on their face or their head. So that's a platform and an opportunity for brands to have that element always in eyesight. And, that's pretty much where we are with that, Rob.
That's great. So circling back to kind of the progress of the whole company, I want to kind of dig into where you're at right now, where you plan to go. So starting with, you've mentioned VTech a couple of times. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that manufacturing, who they are, and kind of what the manufacturing process or partnership is?
Yes. So VTech's history, they were established in the 1970s. They're a Hong Kong-based manufacturing company, multi-billion-dollar organization, and they produce communication devices, specifically with headphones that have the mic and the mouthpiece for you to communicate. And they also specialize in educational toys for children. So if you go into your nearest Target or Walmart, you'll see a whole section of VTech toys that they produce. And with our manufacturing specialist and director, David Avaldi, he has over a 15-year relationship with them. So we've been able to secure that partnership. They're very excited about the opportunity to bring a disruptive technology into the headphone space and put that into their portfolio. So we're, like I said, we're in pre-manufacturing stage now. And while we're raising capital, that'll be able to initiate that production run. And then as we're bringing on the pre-orders onto our Indiegogo platform, we'll then be able to secure that 20,000 pre-order sale goal and then fulfill that in 2021. So they're very excited, very ambitious, and we're both sides are ready to go to bring this to the world.
That's great. And so, you obviously we're working towards the 20,000 unit pre-sale goal.
Correct.
And where's the rest of the companies? Is that going to be the first round of sales? Are you going to be able to kind of go on the website and buy after that?
Yes.
How do you plan to do that?
Yes, absolutely. So, to start off from the initial crowdfunding standpoint, so you have the equity crowdfunding platform with Netcapital, and then we have the pre-order the pre-order crowdfunding platform with Indiegogo. And afterwards, once we kind of get that off the ground, then we'll be able to bring all that attention to our own website channels, our own social media, direct purchase channels, and e-commerce is our focus. So we'll have, various pop-up shops around the world as our brand starts to grow and we start to position ourselves in the market. But predominantly, it will come through e-commerce, and that's where we'll be focused.
Great. And we have a couple of questions from some participants. And if anyone else has questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A down below. So the first one was a question I can actually take. It was a question about whether or not the offering closed in August and there's a new date. So just so everyone knows, companies just like Dome often extend their offerings on Netcapital, move out the end dates to make sure that everyone has a chance to invest. So Dome's current end date is towards the end of the month, and in their, that can always get updated as well.
Yes.
But then the next question for you, Tim, is I see the Dome logo on Tim's shirt, and I see the Adidas logo on the other side. Is there a connection or partnership there?
Hey, that'll come down the pipeline, I'm sure. But right now, it's just a shirt of choice. A standard shirt where we was able to put our logo on it with a polo, and it's not in collaboration yet, but for sure with Rutgers. Actually, and so just to retract back a little bit, Rob, Rutgers, that ecosystem, that built-in audience, and my influence that we're bringing with Dome, we feel that we'll be able to make a huge imprint and a huge impact at Rutgers, which would then be a blueprint to take that around the country and around the world. So why not, dive into what you have immediately in front of you from a regional standpoint, and then be able to attract all the different new collaborators that we're still in motion at the table with A-list celebrities and mega brands to put their logos on the covers. But that's what we have secured today. We also have a few well-known influential faces from the Rutgers community that we collaborated with, and that also have their own branding covers that we're going to bake into that whole approach. But why not be able to, attack that and make a huge impact there? But yes, so Adidas being collaborated with Rutgers, they're on all the backs of all the sports that's at Rutgers, and I'm sure once they start seeing Dome around Rutgers, Adidas is going to come knocking as well. So that'll be there soon. Yep.
That'd be an exciting partnership if it comes to fruition. So, Tim, you might understand this. This seems like a technical question that I don't quite understand. So, if we need more clarity, let me know.
Right.
But we had an attendee ask, "Do you have any figures for frequency response?"
Great question. So, this would be a great question for my partner Ben White, but from what I understand, the frequency of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, if that answers your question, that's, from my knowledge, what I understand and know. And that's, the latest I have on from a frequency standpoint.
Perfect. So to the attendee who asked that question, thanks for doing that. If you need further clarification, please throw in a follow-up. Otherwise, you're always welcome to do follow-ups on Dome's page on Netcapital, where you can get a more detailed written response as well.
And also to add, Rob, so that's what's in our current prototype right now. But with our collaboration with VTech and their well-renowned engineers, we're also going to continue to iterate and make the best product that's out there. So that's the goal over time.
That's great. And so we're coming towards the end of our time. So if anyone has any last-minute questions for Tim, please throw them in. We might even allow some football-related questions if people
awesome.
are nice.
Nice.
So Tim, as we start to wrap up, just to have a little fun.
Yes.
Talk to me about some fun stuff, right? What was the first song you listened to on Dome headphone, and what are you listening to now?
Ooh, actually, so my partner, he's incredible. Doesn't even have an engineering background, but has literally took a concept from his mind and created a functional working prototype. And he had played, when the first time he brought me to the lab, he had played Work by Rihanna. And mind you, this was at the iteration where it was literally just that the transducers, it was like a Frankenstein setup with a headband just to get the proof of concept and sound. And when he played it, my jaw dropped and I said, the future is now. This was back in 2018. The future is now. And literally he brought it from iteration to iteration all the way to a functional prototype. And now it's in the hands of one of the largest manufacturers in the world with VTech. So it's very exciting, but I will recommend, once you guys get it, the box by Roddy Ricch is a very trendy song. And you get the bass, you get the vibration, you feel the music. So that's when you guys get your headphones, that's one of my recommendations.
Awesome. That's great. So yeah, we're coming to the end of the time. We got one more question I'll sneak in there.
Okay.
If anyone has any last minute ones, throw it in there. But Marquette asked Tim, will the Chiefs run it back?
Listen, I was just going to say that. So tonight is the season kickoff, Thursday night, Chiefs versus Texans. My last team that I played with was the Chiefs. So I don't know if it's me bringing championship, the blueprint to the table, or if it's the other way around. But I think the Chiefs has the talent to make it happen again, and they're going to be a wrecking force for sure.
Well, I grew up in Denver, so I'm not sure how much I like this whole
okay.
rivalry, but yeah, we won't get into that too much. Bring it back to Dome for a second. We did have one more relevant question. So one attendee asked, I read something about discounts for investors. Can you speak to that? If someone becomes an investor in Dome and buys stock on Netcapital, what can they expect going forward?
Yes. So first off, thanks to Netcapital, investors have the ability to trade stock right on the platform, and you can definitely attest or expound on that, Rob. But we do have the ability to offer various incentives and sort of offer some discounts to potential investors. We already actually reduced our valuation from just over 50 million down to 16 million. So it's been a 68% reduction already on our valuation, and it's to the number, I think it's 15,999 if I'm not mistaken, Rob. But essentially, it's a $16 million valuation that we're sharing our shares at, right? Selling our shares at 32 cents per share. So it's already a major reduction and major discount for early adopters and people coming on. But overall, I know we're wrapping up. I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to present this to you today. And I hope you, got inspired by what we have, and you could feel the spirit and energy by what we have. And we're going to win the championship with this business opportunity. And I hope you guys would take the opportunity to come on board with us and join us on this ride. So
for sure. And we got some last minute questions in here. So
okay.
we have a couple extra minutes. I'm going to sneak in there.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah,
nice.
So one is also to expound on that as well. Do you think in the future, if someone's an investor, you guys might offer special discounts on the headphones themselves?
Yes, that's definitely something me and my partner have discussed. So throughout the life of Dome, we're going to be bringing you a lot of various products that we, like I said, already have in the queue. This is our premier product, the D4 headphone, but there'll be various discounts and offers and special promotions for the people who supported us from the beginning. So for sure.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And then a more technical question, is there going to be an option for a 3.5 millimeter cable as well?
Yes. So that's in consideration right now with VTech. We had a discussion last night about bringing that option too, so people can have that hard plug-in, which is important for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like that's all the questions we have for now. Tim, thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate you sitting down with us and telling us a little bit more about Dome.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you, Netcapital. Appreciate the opportunity. And again, thank you to all the listeners that listened in today. Thank you so much.
Great. And thanks again also from our end. Thanks to everyone who came and attended. Thanks for all the fantastic questions. If anyone has additional questions after the fact, if you think of something later tonight, you can always post a question on Dome's discussion board on Netcapital. And everyone, of course, whether you're watching this in a recording or watching it live, if you want to invest, you can invest on netcapital.com/companies/Dome. And if you have additional questions, you can ask questions there. Tim, thanks again for taking the time. Thanks everyone for attending.
Hey, thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Have a great one, guys.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe out there.
All right.